What's up, guys? This is video 1 on the YouTube channel on real estate investing and everything you need to do with real estate. My name is Jason, and we're gonna cover so many amazing topics for you guys, including cars, tax write-offs, investments, you name it. We're gonna try to create a lot of wealth in your life. Now for me, I've done a lot in real estate investing, and it pays for my lifestyle, including my Ferrari, which I love driving. But it is so rewarding to know that my Ferrari, my life, and my cars and everything else is paid for through real estate investing. So guys, I want to come to you and talk about real estate investing in a way that keeps it real. There are so many people out there talking about real estate investing right now, and I feel like there's so much false information. There's your zero down people, there's your house hacking people, there's your hard money lenders. There's so many topics. But I find for the majority of people that I talk to, and I talk to literally hundreds of people every year about buying and selling, there are some real limitations as to how people can really invest in real estate. And for the majority of the population, investing in real estate means just buying their first property, buying a primary residence, just buying real estate. And there's many obstacles to do this. You might be a single parent with 2 kids. You might be in a position where you're young and you're trying to fend for yourself and you don't have support from your parents. There's 100 reasons why you cannot buy real estate. And what I want to do is create a channel here where we're going to actually help people in meaningful ways invest in real estate for the first time. And we're going to cover a broad spectrum. I mean, we're going to cover it all. And it's going to take us a lot of videos. And so what you can do is you can help me by commenting below and keeping it real with me around what you need help on. And I promise I will share the information with you to help impact your lives in a positive way. Cool, so who the heck am I, right? Like, why am I sharing information with you guys? Well, I'm humbled to say that I am in the top 1% of real estate agents in the United States. I'm gonna sell just over $200 million in real estate this year. I do make a good amount of money, so I'm gonna help create this lens for you of where I started 8 years ago when I was making about $70,000 a year, and now where I am today making multi-millions worth of dollars every single year, and then help you see your future. Right now, I have a portfolio that's around $5.5 million in value, and my portfolio is making me about $26,000 a month in rental income. Now, that's not true profit, that is rental revenue. In addition to that, I've got other streams of businesses which all compile into a great investment strategy of how I save on taxes, which is a completely different topic, which we'll dive into as well. So, there are multiple ways that you can start investing. First one is just buying a primary residence. This can be done really easily because you get the benefits of using almost no money down. There are multiple programs for first-time home buyers depending on your state where you can do zero down. Legitimately zero down, guys. It's not a scam. Then you've also got your standard down payment programs. A lot of you probably heard of like 3 or 3.5% down doing a conventional or FHA loan. This is only available to you on when you buy a primary residence, and I think really when you're looking at the broad spectrum of options for you, this is not only the safest first time to invest option, but it's also the easiest path of resistance to buying your first investment property. So let's talk about why that is. So with all of the other investments that you do when you grow your portfolio, what people don't realize is you need money to make money in real estate. Right now, whenever I buy a home that I am not living in, the bank will require a minimum of 20 to 25% down. So if you're buying a $500,000 property, all of a sudden you need $100,000 minimum to become a real estate investor. This is just not the reality for most people. Now, dramatic effect. This is what I love about real estate. Did you know that you can buy more than one primary residence? In fact, you can just continue to buy primary residences every single year. All right, so you're out and we're now searching for your first primary residence and investment property. Well, if you got around $25,000 in the bank account here in Northern Virginia, you can buy yourself a really nice 3-bed, 2.5-bath townhome that's going to be a great first investment for you. So now that you're going to be going to buy that residence, you've got enough money to pay your down payment of 3% and maybe even improve that property. And this is where your primary home can be an investment. Let's say, for example, that home has been on the market for a little while and you can negotiate your cost to buy. Well, all you've got is your down payment now inside the property, which is 3%. The other cash you can use to improve the property. So let's say you buy the home for $450,000 and then you spend another $10,000 improving the property. Well, that $450,000 property could now be worth $475,000. You've just made your first return on renovations. Now, if you're really creative and you want to do some things that are more interesting with your primary residence, I'd recommend to rent part of that home out. This is called house hacking. Now with house hacking, you can get one roommate or have somebody that's in your network or maybe even your spouse who's not quite married to you yet or something like that, and get them to pay you rent for living in the property. All of a sudden, you're starting to generate income from the property that you are living in. Far better than just rent. Now, in addition to that, I think everybody misses the fact that part of your monthly payment in a mortgage is going towards actual money that you get to keep. It's called your principal payment. In this example, your total monthly mortgage payment on a $450,000 house with 3% down is going to be around $2,700 a month. Well, guess what? Out of that monthly payment, which includes taxes, homeowners insurance, and your mortgage payment, $520 a month in your first year is actually money paying down the mortgage, which is 100% money you get to keep. Now, you've got a $2,700 a month payment, you're making $500 a month of that, and then let's say you're renting out a room for $1,200. You're a money-making machine. Now, a year goes by and you've been in the property for a year, and guess what? You're taking all of the money that you've saved from having a person renting in your property with you, $1,200 a month, and you're gonna take that and put it into a savings account. Guess who has their down payment for their next property? That's right, you do. Now, you can go ahead and buy another primary residence. There are some regulations with the loan program that kind of stipulate you need to be moving for a specific reason. It could be a job change or life change, maybe your kids are changing schools, and you need to move at least approximate distance that's just enough. But guys, there are some exceptions. Yours truly, who lives on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., moved 0.6 miles from my first primary residence to my second primary residence, where I'm shooting this video today. Now, in fact, I have bought many primary residences, of which I all own. Right now, I'm sitting in my third primary residence out of the 7 properties that I own, which means I've been able to do minimum down payments and grow my portfolio of real estate in a much easier way by doing this strategy. Now, the last thing I gotta tell you guys is the cost of money with this strategy. When you're buying a primary residence where you own, your interest rate is naturally much lower because the bank sees you as a lower risk investment. If you're buying a home as a primary residence, you live there, you're the one paying the mortgage, the bank's gonna give you a preferred interest rate. Now, when you're investing on another property that you're not living in, this again costs about 20 to 30% down payment, and then the bank's also gonna charge you a much higher interest rate because it's a higher risk investment for them. Maybe they don't know who the tenant's gonna be, maybe they think you can't carry the mortgage, and they're gonna give you a higher rate because of the risk. So far in this video, we've covered what I believe is the easiest path to starting your investment strategy in real estate, which is buying primary residences. But there's so many other ways of doing this. So think about it, right? Let's brainstorm a little bit right now. Just off the top of my head, you've got investing with other people. So this is where you're getting a bunch of friends together and buying a home together. You've got house hacking, where you buy a home and rent out part of that home with someone else. You've got a strategy of buying, renovating, refinancing, and renting, the BRRRR strategy. And this takes a lot of money, and you can do this with different loan products that are higher risk. Another great investment strategy. Or you can invest with others, where you basically give someone else money and they buy the property. There are a million ways to do this. The first property I ever bought was a cute little townhome in Alexandria. My wife and I were super poor. We could barely afford it. We had about 20 grand to our name. And that little home we bought for $300,000. Now here's the power of time. That $300,000 home 8 years ago is now worth $440,000 today, and rents for $2,500 a month and makes us $500 a month every single month, plus $350 a month paying down our mortgage. Owning that property for an 8 period of time, that long-term outlook on real estate, is what's made us the most money on that home. Not the cash flow, not the renovations, it's that long-term hold. So when you guys are thinking about investing, think about the long-term for your first purchase for the most success. Okay, so if you guys have been following this video, thank you. This is like one of my first or second videos I'm posting on YouTube, so you've been watching it the whole time. I really appreciate the support, guys. But what I want you to do is create a community of people who can really help each other. I have made all the mistakes at this point. All of them, and you can make your mistakes through me. So let's start the conversation. Comment below on the things that you guys want to be able to learn, and then also feel like you can reach out to me directly. Go to shepherdhomesgroup.com, which is my website, and DM me directly there, or you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, or all of the other social media platforms and get a bunch of great tips and tricks to follow me on there and DM me directly. Let's create a community and let's help each other build wealth.